Hello everyone, SquaredCircle Wrestling is back with another episode. Join us now as we look at the latest news and rumors from the world of pro wrestling, which includes CM Punk shoots on Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, Dave Meltzer and AEW. Is Brock Lesnar leaving the WWE after WrestleMania 39? Or WWE stars returning for WrestleMania? Top SmackDown star quits WWE. 31-year-old star wants to become the next Raw general manager. And much more. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel SquaredCircle Wrestling for all the latest updates. Our top news for today looks at CM Punk shoots on Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, Dave Meltzer and AEW. CM Punk just had another pipe bomb, ripping into AEW, Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, and Dave Meltzer in a hastily deleted Instagram post on Thursday. Punk appeared to be responding to Meltzer, who reported earlier that day that the 44-year-old wanted to return to AEW, the promotion he is currently suspended from after brawling with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks at All Out 2022 in September. The retort briefly appeared on Punk's Instagram story before being taken down. In it, Punk alleged he wasn't medically cleared to wrestle Moxley in their AEW World Title Unification match last August, which saw the veteran squashed in around 3 minutes. Continuing, the Chicagoan alleged Mox refused to lose to him, calling Meltzer a liar, Jericho a liar and a stooge, and asserting that he will never put a company above my health ever again. Punk's post read, "Sigh, I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. Then plan was to wrestle at the PPV. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie. I had thought the idea sucked, but if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I'd never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this is what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said okay, but I'd need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change, but I'll never put a company above my health ever again." Specifically, Punk's words were likely a response to the following post from Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer. "Do you know why they didn't advertise Punk vs. Moxley longer and why it had a short build? Because Punk agreed to it. Then AEW got a legal letter saying he wasn't down with it and wasn't doing it, and they didn't know if he'd come until Tony put his foot down. There are a lot of nice things I can say about him, and you can absolutely argue his position on Moxley was correct. But you can't argue he willingly did what he was asked in that scenario." Jericho responded by posting a photograph of Matt Hardy with a delete caption to his own Instagram story. This verbal war doesn't seem a good sign for CM Punk, considering speculation of his AEW return. Next up, is Brock Lesnar leaving the WWE after WrestleMania 39? There are rumors that Brock Lesnar will be taking time off from WWE after WrestleMania. Now Dave Meltzer is reporting about Lesnar. Regarding rumors of Lesnar, there were reports Lesnar had told people he'd be leaving soon, and within the company the word had circulated. The only thing we know is that everything about Lesnar and what he's doing is kept top secret, and that Vince McMahon, Nick Khan, Paul Levesque know, and maybe 2 others know and nobody else does. The last time Lesnar left for an extended period was when he put over McIntyre as big and as clean as he possibly could, so if there's a finish similar to that. One rumor is suggesting that Lesnar puts over Oma's big and clean. Another is that this is another example of WWE playing games with rumors to hide what will happen in a major show. What is your say on it? Next up, more evidence that Vince McMahon is running creative. An interesting backstage story has some people believing that Vince McMahon is indeed involved in WWE creative. By now you've probably heard that Vince is making suggestions and Triple H has the final call. Some skeptics have pointed to the upcoming Omos vs. Brock Lesnar match as a sign that Vince is more involved in creative decisions. The Wrestling Observer newsletter has further proof of McMahon's handiwork. If you haven't seen the fingerprints of Vince McMahon on camera, and there are little things here and there was a pre-tape interview on the March 20th Raw where somebody used the term wrestling and they had to redo. Granted, since Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes used the term pro wrestlers in their promo on the same show. What do you make of this story? Let us know in the comments below. Is Bobby Lashley still working at WrestleMania 39? With it looking less and less likely that the proposed Bobby Lashley vs. Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania 39 will take place, there's no word on how the Almighty may still be factored into the showcase of the Immortals. The Lashley vs. Wyatt bout was set in motion earlier this year. Lashley and Wyatt spent the next couple of weeks doing stuff on WWE TV, ahead of the pair facing off at WrestleMania 39. However, the past few weeks have seen Bray absent entirely from WWE programming, with it reported that the Eater of Worlds is dealing with an unspecified health issue that is keeping him away from the ring. As such, that has cast doubt on those previous WrestleMania plans. In an update on this matter, WrestleVotes told, regardless of Wyatt's status, Bobby Lashley will still be a part of WrestleMania 39. Not just that, but one backup plan that's been discussed is to have Lashley involved with LA Knight, with Stone Cold Steve Austin being involved in a certain angle. As WrestleVotes notes, I heard the plans for Bobby had something to do with LA Knight. I think there's a tie-in with some type of segment that LA Knight is going to be involved in. Again, this appears to be a developing situation, with neither Lashley vs. Wyatt nor an appearance from LA Knight announced for WrestleMania as of now. Next up, will absent superstars show up at WrestleMania? There are several WWE superstars who could return at WrestleMania next week. It was noted that Randy Orton is supposed to be at the show, although it's unclear if he'll appear on the show or just be backstage, and he may not be alone. Dave Meltzer is reporting in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter. There are a number of wrestlers who have been off television for injury and other reasons, who could return for appearances in some form and get easy pops, including Randy Orton, Matt Riddle, AJ Styles, Nakamura and Big E. Orton is confirmed as going to be there. Ringside News' Felix Upton pointed out that Styles is still on the bench from his ankle injury, so it's unknown if he'll appear. Although these names could appear, it seems unlikely WWE would just have them show up other than Big E, whose appearance would appeal to fans who have missed the New Day member. Unless it's part of a storyline, it seems more likely that returning stars will appear on Raw and SmackDown, not only to build up each show but to keep fans focused on WrestleMania's matches. Next up, more news on Big E returning WrestleMania 39. Is Big E returning at WrestleMania? We've already discussed several potential returns, including Big E showing up. However, Dave Meltzer has more information on what WWE originally had planned before Kofi Kingston's ankle injury. Before the injury to Kofi Kingston, which did result in ankle surgery on March 17th, we had at least heard talk of the Big E return, if only in skit form with the New Day together. It's still possible for the New Day to show up assuming Kofi Kingston and Big E are cleared for non-contact appearance. Next up, did Naomi confirms her exit from WWE? An update on Naomi's WWE status as a recent Instagram post from her seems to confirm she's left the company. Naomi recently posted about an upcoming appearance at WrestleCon. One fan commented under the post, "Girl, are you even still in WWE?" Naomi responded, "No friend." What do you think? Will Naomi follow Sasha Banks' footsteps? Let us know in the comments. Next up, Kyrie Sane is now a free agent. One former WWE superstar who is definitely a free agent is Kyrie Sane, who spoke with Wrestling News' Steve Fall, revealing through her translator, she is a free agent. She would like to go anywhere possible and she would like to go back to the US. Sane's translator explained who Kyrie would like to wrestle, including Paige, Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Asuka, Io Sky, Bayley, Shayna Baszler, everyone. Where would you like to see Kyrie Sane work next? Next up, 31-year-old star wants to become the next Raw general manager. Recently returned star Chelsea Green wants to become the next general manager of the Red brand. Speaking on WWE Deutschland, the 31-year-old star was asked by a fan if she wanted to become the next general manager of Raw. Here's what she had to say. "I've thought about it and I've been thinking about it for a few weeks now. I did again put in a formal request with the WWE management team. Adam Pearce, maybe he just needs a little bit more help. Maybe he's in over his head. He could use a little help and I can do that. If he wants to stick to SmackDown, I've got Raw. I'll take care of that." Next up, Vince McMahon pays back $17.4 million in investigation costs. World Wrestling Entertainment said on Friday, Executive Chairman Vincent McMahon had paid $17.4 million to the company to cover costs related to an investigation into his alleged misconduct. McMahon, credited with transforming WWE from a regional player to a global giant, retired as CEO and chairman of the company in July last year. He returned to the board in January after the probe was wrapped up. WWE said in January that it would explore strategic alternatives. McMahon said he would involve himself in the company's media rights acquisition process as it looks to capitalize on growing demand for content and live entertainment. And finally, Cody Rhodes breaking records on merchandise sale. A big congratulations to Cody Rhodes on him selling tons of merchandise for the WWE. This week's Wrestling Observer notes, Rhodes is now hitting the levels of top-tier main eventers as far as merchandise sales go. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes is incredibly over with the fans right now, and the WWE needs to consider this when it comes to booking their finish for his match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And that's all for today. Make sure to subscribe our channel SquaredCircle Wrestling for all the latest updates.